So I was watching one of your AMAs, and the big point was that in 2027, the world is going to collapse.
That it definitely is. And the markets are telling us that that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
You know that movie, Leave the World Behind, that the Obamas made?
No.
It's a great movie to watch because I think and I know that movies are where they tell us ahead of time about what's going to happen. It's pre programming. That's why it's called TV programming. In the movie, it's mutating AI cyber attacks that are hitting everywhere. And the dad knows what's going to happen. And the girl keeps asking her dad, Dad, how did you know that this was going to happen? And he says, The markets told me. So the markets are clearly telling us that this currency hyperinflationary cycle, the printing cycle, where they're going to print $100 trillion plus by 2027, that curve of the debts going up is telling us that by the end of 2027, we should see a massive, massive collapse in society, in finance, in markets, and that's going to usher in the new financial system.
How does it show itself for somebody who is not too much financially wise, I guess, and they're just listening to us? How would they experience that?
It's simple. It's all about money. So assets go up because money printing happens. Money printing creates assets or inflation in assets. The money printing happens because central banks need to pay debts. Countries need to pay their debts. They don't really pay them, they just refinance their debts. We can look at the curve of the interest rates going up for the debt, for the Fed. We can look at the curve of the interest payments going up for the Fed, which is the central bank of the US.
Yeah.
Those debts were taken about 5.4 years ago, 2020. The debt is issued out 5.4 years. And we can now see that curve going up and it's locked in. Assets and liquidity are following that curve. So you can look that up. You can also look up Raul Pal's Drinks with Raul, the most recent one. In there, he shows the chart where gold is actually following that curve perfectly. See, that curve leads by years. Gold leads assets by 9 to 12 months, depending on how you look at it. Bitcoin follows 9 months behind gold. That's how we do it.
So if I am the guy who goes to work and then I come back and I work in this company, I'm an employee,
Hmm.
this collapse, how does it affect me?
Every 80 ish years, society resets the financial system and resets the societal system with it. Everything that has been normal in our lifetimes, anybody who's less than 80 years old's lifetime, all of that is going to change. So think about this. The economy that we come from, especially before the internet, was one where you had to produce goods and services. That's how you added value to society, and that's how you made businesses. The internet allowed the ability for us to create networks, just set up a bunch of computers. And those computers started adding value to billions and billions of people's lives, and those companies became the most valuable. Going forward, this idea of goods and services is disappearing in a major way. The world we come from, wisdom was very expensive. ChatGPT and AI has made wisdom basically free. Robotics is going to make labor free. Energy, you're going to make free by drilling holes in the ground and putting down, you know, uh, what is it, thermal power and solar. So when you make energy free, you make labor free, you make wisdom free. The only thing that's left is resources to build whatever you need to have built. The billionaires are going to space. They found one asteroid that has 10,000 quintillion dollars of resources on it. And that's just one asteroid out of an infinite number of asteroids. That's going to make resources free. So we're moving into an economy that is a infinite abundance economy where owning things becomes completely pointless.
Yeah.
Jobs become completely pointless. This whole way we structure society becomes completely pointless. New metaverses get created, controlled by AIs, and money moves on rails called blockchain. Every single thing around you changes. So if you're somebody who has a job, especially a job that you hate, which is most of you, remember this, that you're about to get replaced, no matter who you think you are.
But if everything is abundant, why don't I just live my beautiful life with complete abundance because there's resources and I don't need to work at all?
That's the idea. Some of us are going to do that. Some of us are doing that, living in Bali and on whatever day it is today, sitting here in the middle of the day doing a podcast because we can. But actually, the transition from here to the infinite abundance economy is the tricky part. That's where everything gets taken from people. And this is what history says. If you just study enough history, in 1920s, 1919, assets are inflating, people are rich. In 1929, assets collapse and people become broke. From then until 1945, the entire system resets and the world gets burned down in World War II, and a new financial system comes in and a new societal system comes in. That process is, this time around, is going to play out as a fifth generation war. So if you haven't read the book Fifth Generation War by one of the generals, read that because it's going to tell you how this World War III is playing out. Along the way, a process is going to play out that's called The Great Taking. You can go to thegreattaking.com. You can read the book free. You can watch the documentary free. Written by a guy who's an ex hedge fund manager who had a near death experience, and God told him that he needs to teach people this. And what that book has inside of it is case law that proves that it is legal to confiscate all of your assets, including stocks, including bonds, all of those things we don't own. And that process is what's being called the Great Reset, but it's not going to be that great.
Yeah, great reset, not so great. I mean, logically thinking, if wealth is going to distribute it to few, then there are going to be unrest. People gonna come and start taking things from rich people, and it is, I guess, civil war.
Yeah.
Uh, but how does this civil war different now than it was before?
So the fourth generation war and the third generation war, the World War II was a third generation war. Tanks and planes and all that technology being used the way that we all know. The fifth generation war has different dynamics. It plays out as a cyber war, which didn't exist before. That's probably the most detrimental part of it. We'll circle back to that. It's playing out as a psychological war. It's playing out as a biological war. Case in point, 2020. Psychological war is TikTok making our kids shake their asses our girls shake their asses in the West, and our boys eat Tide Pods, while TikTok in China teaches engineering to their own kids. That's a psychological war. And technology is dealing drugs inside of our kids' heads. It's a economic war. It's a narrative based war. And then it's a hot war with bombs and all this kind of stuff. So
Okay.
it differs in all those dynamics. And it's already happening. It's already been happening around us the whole time. In this war, there's no combatants. Everybody's participating.
Yeah, but as soon as I'm gonna open my bank account, there's zero. I have few choices. If I don't have opportunity to make money,
Hmm.
so let's say I'm late, right? Let's say all this happened, and now I'm replaced, and now I'm like, okay, I don't have any money. Let's say you replace a billion people. Those billion people gonna stand up, take some guns, and go take what's theirs.
That's what you would imagine. If you do that, Anatoly, then you're the bad guy. And yes, they will come get you. If the government does that, then government's the bad guy. That's just not how it works. You need a boogeyman to say, oh, look at the boogeyman. COVID shut down the world. I didn't shut down your business, even though there's somebody somewhere who snapped their fingers and shut down the world. In this new process, one of the biggest attack vectors that I'm looking at, that is obviously written on the walls, is mutating AI cyber attacks. They're already happening. Airports shut down this one time. AWS just shut down.
Cloudflare should shut down.
Cloudflare shut down. All of these things are beta tests. Power went out in Portugal, even in Bali, Spain, apparently because of a weather phenomenon that nobody can explain what it's actually just the alpha test and the beta test. Now we're in the beta stage of this mutating AI cyber attack being released, cyber attacks being released. In that time, that becomes the boogeyman. Hey, mutating AI shut down your power. Mutating AI tank the markets. Mutating AI allows you not to access your banking.
So essentially, you're saying I take a gun and I'm like, I need to do something, but there's nothing to do because, well, this is not the government. They're like, oh, we don't know anything about it. Goodbye.
It's AI terrorism. It's AI terrorists. And that process playing out is necessary for the new system to be ushered in, because we will never let that system get ushered in.
Yeah.
And when that happens, the governments are the ones who are going to come in to protect us, as they always do, like they did last time.
Mhm.
And in that protection process, here's the process. The goal is to issue digital IDs and connect us all to digital IDs. Then connect those digital IDs to social credit scores so our behavior is controlled. Then quantify the amount of carbon we consume in our life and ration the amount of carbon we're allowed to spend on, and on what, after having a good social credit score, after having a good digital ID. All of those things right now people don't want. When these mutating AI cyber attacks hit the internet, then the logical way to immunize the internet is to issue everybody a digital ID so we know who's a human and who's an AI. That's how this gets ushered in.
So mutating AI cyber attacks. Can you explain it to people who don't understand what it is? With some
Imagine,
examples.
imagine there's an AI that goes in and is sent to knock out the power infrastructure of a country. Humans on the other side, now even AIs on the other side. Claude was just used to defend against Chinese attacks. That's what they're saying. The AIs on the other side and the humans on the other side block that cyber attack. But the AI, the attacking AI, changes, it mutates, and changes its attack vector and changes its behavior and attacks again. You block that, it changes and attacks again. And it just consistently ongoing keeps attacking the systems until we usher in a new internet in this new way.
So those AI attacks are programmed by somebody, so they have a mission. So let's say China says you need to attack X, or is that AI that just randomly attacks things because it's so smart that it thinks it's gonna achieve some goal?
Okay, history says that we are in the process of the changing world order. So you need to watch The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio, which is a 40-minute video, super enlightening on how the world order changes. You need to read the book if you have time. If you don't have time, read both books. The changing of the world order always happened from country to country. It was Britain, then it became US. Now it's not going from US to China. Now it's going from country to a one world order run on run by one world entities, three-letter agencies and organizations. WEF, WHO, IMF, World Bank. I'm definitely going to get canceled for this. I don't even know how this is going to end up on YouTube, to be honest. All of it. So those one world entities
Yeah.
are the ones that are taking the power. They already have. They run on a one world infrastructure called the internet, using one world intelligences in their army called AI, with one world currencies called cryptocurrencies. So they can block you and chain you.
So many questions.
So many answers.
Um, but let's say again, I'm gonna be someone who, as a devil's advocate as usual, though
Stop talking to the devil, bro. Start
I
talking to God.
I do agree with you. But for somebody who is listening to you and says, Sim, I think you drink too much matcha today, how would I even, like, you're talking about those organizations that I think are good for us. What are some of the facts that they are not as good as they say? Let's say WHO. What's wrong with that?
So, first of all, Google my name. Just Google my name. I'm not some tinfoil hatter sitting here telling you stuff that I read on the internet. Google my name, ask an AI who I am, ask it how I know these things. I'm part of the war exercises. I work with things that I can't say, but just Google my damn name. And you will know that this is lived experience. I've seen on the other side of the curtain. I know what the governments are preparing for. I know what those entities are doing. I'm part of it myself.
Interesting. So you're part of changing world order, and you're going to be the one who's going to be benefiting from that.
Yes, because In all the past tyrannies in history that I studied, the best resistances were not the ones where they went and fought and protested and da 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 da. That's a great way to get your family killed. It was the best resistances were the ones where you created a new way of life, quietly, peacefully in a corner. And that new way of life was the best solution to the shit show that's happening. I had the option back in the day to either run from it or go into it and build it myself. Because it's easy to be like, the elites are evil and they do all this. No, it's just the changing world order. It's just a season in humanity. It is just what needs to happen now so we can grow into a conscious, beautiful world going forward. Somebody's got to be in there doing it. Turns out I'm one of the smartest people on earth and one of the dumbest people on earth. And being as smart and retarded as I am, then the only solution I saw was I'm going to go in, I'm going to build the systems myself. I'm going to tokenize food. I'm going to tokenize carbon. I'm going to be part of the solution to the best of my ability.
So you were talking about cryptocurrency, that this will be playing big part of this great taking. Is that
Great taking.
great taking?
Yeah.
Some people who are listening might say, well, the crypto is the only way how to protect yourself because you can move it freely and it's on a blockchain.
Yeah.
It can be anonymized, so it's not, right now it's very hard to put.
It's not anonymized, guys. It's on the blockchain. Like everybody can see it. That's hilarious. But yes, sorry, continue. Some might say that.
Yes.
Some might be wrong.
Well, the point is that potentially you can go to some dealer in Indonesia, give them bag of money, they can put in a blockchain, and
Terrible
it cannot
idea.
be connected back to you.
Terrible idea. Do you know how they capture wild horses? And how corporations capture wild horses in large swaths of land?
No idea.
I used to raise horses in India. Horses are very smart. Horses are paranoid. They don't like to be captured. They're free animals, kind of like us. So corporations figured out that if you chase horses, they'll split and run because they roll in a pack. There's a stallion at the front. So what they started doing is they started building corrals that are kilometers wide that the horses can't see. Then they bring a helicopter super low
Oh, I've seen that before, yeah.
behind the horses,
Yeah.
and the horses run from the helicopter. And 90% of the horses are genetically built just to be scared of a helicopter. But about 10% of the horses are genetically built to not trust anything. So about 10% of the horses, and if they have a smart stallion, they will turn around and they'll run at the helicopter. So, and they're the ones who get free. And the other ones who think they're running to safety are actually running to the exact corral that is the problem, where they get captured. My point is, this whole idea of take bags of money and hide it, and that's an old game. You know, I'm a crypto guy. I've been here since 2012. Yeah, the game's worked well in the wild, wild west before the system fully flipped. The new system, that's what they want you to do. Because the new system, the banking system, is based on on a messaging standard called ISO 20022. It's already been implemented now. It's completing its implementation globally. This system says that any penny that enters the banking system, especially from a place like crypto, if it does not have a paper trail, proof of source of funds, and clear proof that it is not money laundering, that it isn't some dirty, shady money, if you bring that into the financial system and you have a digital ID and you have a social credit score to be able to even use it, any illegitimate looking money that comes in instantly blocks you from the banking system, instantly deems you a criminal, instantly knocks down the social credit scores of you and your family members, everybody around you, turns you into a criminal. So the helicopter is they're taking our privacy. People think they're running to safety by buying P2P and hiding their wealth. The actual trick is turn around, go towards it. Legitimize your wealth. Pay tax on it. Just use a jurisdiction that has great tax, like Indonesia, 0.1%. Put it on paper, have a paper trail for it, so that when you do get rich, you're allowed to use your money properly the way you like.
Okay. Well, that's a turn of events. I didn't expect that.
I don't know. At this point, expect the unexpected in the world.
Let's talk about unexpected. So a bunch of things happen. We're talking in November.
Hmm.
This is probably going to be live in December, January. Right now, October 10, the crypto market just had the biggest drop it ever had,
Mm.
like $19 billion, I
Yeah,
guess, was
that
just,
they're telling you about.
yeah, were just evaporated from the market.
Mm.
The gold just shoot up. Now, what's happening now? Like, where are we heading?
So if you look at the Weimar Republic gold chart, you just go into Google and type in Weimar gold chart. It'll show you the chart of what happened to gold in the last time in history when we were at this point of cyclical time, humanity. Gold was single digit Weimar marks in 1923. It went to a trillion marks in 1913. It was single digit. 1924, it was a trillion. Bitcoin has gone from 8/10 of a penny to $120,000 and it's pulled back. This, and then when you look at the red line, which is the volatility of gold, that tells you a great reflection of how this process plays out and what assets do during that. It shoots up, then it shoots down. It shoots up, shoots down, and then it just starts to get insane and bananas. Okay, that's what just happened in the markets. Like until March of 2024, one of the last times that we spoke, where people hated me for telling them to get out of the market, and in March, that was a local top. And then a high volatility event played out, which was the yen panic, August 5th, 2024. That was the buy time. Then until December, we had a run. That December was the sell time. I told you guys, we traded it, did great. Then the Trump crash was a buy time, which I call a katana catch. Then until September was the sell time. I told you it was 126K top. Guess what was the local top? 126K. Logically, history says if the volatility has happened to the upside, there should be a highly volatile event to the downside. October 3rd, we took a lot of profits. I told everybody something volatile is coming. Lucky for me, 8 days later, that event plays out, which is now being called the 10/10 crash. Guess what we did? Bought the shit out of it. And it played out within 9 minutes. What actually happened was this was a monetary AI cyber attack.
Okay.
So Binance trades a little known stablecoin within their own ecosystem at such a high rate, at such a high volume, that it destabilizes pricing on their exchange. And by the time the other AIs, the arbitrage AIs, picked it up and started arbitraging it against all of the other players in the crypto space, it just freaked out the whole market and prices started just vibrating like crazy. That's what just happened. It's not a mutating AI cyber attack. It's just an AI cyber attack where you do one thing in the markets, it freaks out the AIs, the freaking out AIs freaks out other AIs, and it cascades down the road, and giant players go bankrupt. So much money gets lost. But the people who know what they're doing, yours truly included, especially, we just took the profits from October 3rd, put it into the market at 5:20 a.m. in the morning in Bali. By 9:20, we're sitting at 40-80% profits.
Wow.
It's the best.
Okay. So what to expect next from here?
Right here, right now, October, whatever it is today, because
November.
we never see this. Is what I'm saying. I don't know what month it is. I don't know what date it is. I don't even know what day of the week it is. This is the Bali life.
I'm surprised you're here.
I don't even know what my name is.
Yeah, yeah.
Have we met before?
No.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah.
My name is something. Um, the dumping that's happening in the markets right now is a result of the chaos that was caused on 10/10, where some big players went bankrupt. People know who it is, but nobody wants to talk about who it is. We'll find out in hindsight.
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah.
We're not going to say it here? Or we might.
Wintermute,
What's Wintermute?
the guys who had the stable coin that got attacked.
Okay.
Wintermute is on the cards. Mexi likely went bankrupt, but they haven't revealed it yet. Likely, allegedly. Can't sue me for this, okay? Like, this is not misinformation, whatever. Um, or you can sue me. I don't have anything. I don't own any assets. I'm just a poor man, okay? That caused a big player to dump on the markets not even unnecessarily, but illogically. And that needs to be done at this point because the real money printing cycle, the 100 trillion to be printed, is ahead of us. And at this point, a process that I call the tourist shakeout needs to happen to shake out all the weak hands who think the game is done. especially to convince the people who think the Bitcoin cycle's ending. It's all a psychological manipulation game. So it's already dumped a lot. We're having this Thanksgiving uptick while institutions are away eating our turkeys. The next step is at least year-on-year rate of change of liquidity. Yes, that doesn't sound like English, but ask an AI. Year-on-year rate of change of liquidity is showing that between now and the end of the year is another sharp drop. That's when I will catch the katana, where the VIX spikes, the volatility index spikes, markets fall off of another cliff. Bitcoin goes to maybe 70K, maybe bounces around this range. Bitcoin's already gone down a lot. Altcoins have pretty much reset.
Yeah.
They're almost at bear market lows. Maybe there's a sharp downtick, hopefully, so I can buy it. That process aligns perfectly with a local top in equities. So NASDAQ has topped in a significant way. SPX has topped. S&P 500 has topped in a significant way. The semiconductors ETF gives you a lot of details around this. It's topped in a significant way. Because AI has topped, and AI has been 90% of the economy, of the GDP of the US for the last year. So the AI pullback, it's just a pullback. It's not a collapse. There's no, markets don't collapse down in this process. They collapse upwards. They just go up, sharp drop, up, sharp drop, up, sharp drop, so on and so forth. So that sharp drop is coming up. A buying opportunity is coming up before the real bull run starts, before all this money enters the system and numbers stop making sense. Dollars look like rupiah.
And when is that going to happen?
Right now, liquidity says, survey says, liquidity says that Q1 of 2026 is a pretty major uptick. Then, so, okay, liquidity looks forward 3 months. So that 3-month forward outlook shows that there is an uptick coming in the beginning part of 2026. Also because institutions have mandates on what they can invest in. The regulatory changes have allowed institutions to custody crypto, and the mandates get applied from 2026. That's why they're selling it now, so they can buy it low. Beginning of 2026 looks like a pretty serious uptick, and then probably usually a sharp kind of drop to scare people again, and there's some sideways action. Gold leads by 9 months in my framework. Gold painted 9 months forward is telling you that yes, the same uptick shows up in gold, because 9 months ago gold went up and then it went sideways. And then gold just goes parabolic like it did into the middle part of 2026. So gold is foretelling that the middle of 2026 is one hell of a run. And then up, and now gold is around that whatever 38, 3,700 mark. 30, don't quote me on that. Gold goes down to 3,500 now, which paints a picture that middle of 2026, there's a sharp uptick. Most people don't get out because they're greedy. Yours truly will sell 100%. I'll even tell you about it. I'll tell you about it. Maybe I'll tell you about it. And then when the crash happens, we go in and buy it all up again. That is what my crystal ball is telling me.
Okay. So somebody who bought Bitcoin and all the altcoins, expecting, never expect anything, but
Am I looking at that somebody?
lots of no, me,
Okay.
yeah, me including, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought quite a lot of altcoins.
Yeah.
I exchanged Bitcoin to altcoins, and
Yeah.
then I did not exchange it back.
Yeah.
But
Good.
I am planning to hold.
Yeah.
As long as I need to hold until it goes up, and then I'm gonna cash out. So I'm more like a holder than a trader.
Right.
So I haven't. Yeah, every trades I made, it was like 5-year cycle or something where things go up anyway. But there are people who invested their money, they bought those altcoins, and now those altcoins are sitting at 70, 60, 70% down.
Yeah.
So what are the strategies they can do? First, to not to feel pain that much, or how to mediate your pain, and two, what's the actual strategy of them not losing everything, I guess.
So let's do the second one first.
Yeah.
How to not lose everything is pretty simple. First of all, don't buy garbage coins, okay? There are 36 million cryptos today. The top 250 cryptos will get 90% of the market cap accrual in any bull run. So don't buy anything except for the top 250. You should be keeping 90% of your capital in the top 10 and 10% of the capital in the rest of them. That's the best way to not to lose your money. If you want to learn more about this, follow the Don't Fuck This Up thesis by Raoul Pal. That's the core. So now let's assume somebody's done that. If you haven't done that, you're fucked. Like, you made the mistake, you made the bet, you're fucked. You figure out something else. I don't work with those people. But if you've played the game the way that you're meant to play the game, and you're holding some solid assets, and they're down 50, 60%, buy more. Again, what you do is your thing. Okay.
Essentially, now is a good time for you to go get some cash coming, do some work, and put this money back into the.
Listen, I run a crypto fund. Our people are liquidating houses, liquidating watches, liquidating spouses, and the last one's half a joke. And they are taking that cash and getting it ready to put it in.
We call it here wife changing money.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
here to make wife changing money.
Yeah,
You know?
because life changing money is not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to change a wife, that requires a lot.
Yeah, change it, add a couple on top, like,
Yeah.
you know, whatever your jam is, right? But that is coming.
Yeah.
So how do you protect yourself? You don't buy garbage in the first place. You then have this understanding that if you want something to go up 1,000%, it's going to go down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% as well.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. And history says the volatility is to both sides. We like volatility.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting on losses now, if you're only sitting on 50% losses now, you're crushing it.
Yeah, I'm actually about 45, 50%.
Oh, you're
But
crushing
I
it.
don't consider anything lost until I sell. So for me, it's just like numbers on the screen. It doesn't-
Exactly. That's the other psychological trick. Now let's move to the psychology part. Remember that you don't make money when it goes up. You don't lose money when it goes down. You only make or lose money when you hit the sell button.
Yeah.
It only matters when you hit buy and when you hit sell. Right now, you went up, you never had the money. You went down, you never had the money. So if your mind is convincing you, oh, I made this much, then I lost this much, you're completely missing the point.
Yeah.
Because the entire game of investing is not played on the markets, it's played between our ears.
Yeah.
So use the trick of not considering made or lost money until you hit sell. And once you ride to the other side, by the middle of 2026, you'll be sitting on insane numbers. So if you hit sell, they'll become real. By the end of 2027, numbers just will not make sense because of this printing, right?
But in a good way or in a bad way? Is that 2027, is that going to shoot up crazy or everything's going to collapse and those coins will not make any sense?
It's going to shoot up like crazy,
Yeah.
so crazy that you get high off of how much money you're seeing on the screen. And because people are high, they just won't sell.
Yeah.
And then it's going to fall off of a cliff. Like a
happened in
cliff.
2021.
Way worse. Way worse.
Okay.
World-ending style shit. Right? Between here and end of 2027, this is my framework. Other experts will not say this, but other experts don't have the track record that I do. Between now and 2027, markets melt up in waves. Up, 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 up. Then probably this great taking or mutating AI cyber, something massive, massive, massive hits and just sends the market off of a cliff. And then it goes into a shock state as the world deals with the trauma that's happening. And that's at the same time as banking probably shutting down, power probably shutting down, food not reaching tables, your grocery store being empty, people rioting and killing each other.
Here's the thing, you might have as much money as you want, but if you don't have anywhere to buy food, who gives a fuck?
Exactly. So we're going to get to this.
Okay.
Psychological tricks to use. Here's the easiest trick. Buy solid assets. When your portfolio is down, stop looking at it. The only control mechanism the market has on you, the only control mechanism is a set of numbers that is the total of your portfolio. As a man especially, we have this protect and provide mentality that when the number goes up, we feel like kings because we're protecting and providing well. When the number goes down, we feel like we're just pieces of shit. And we have this internal dialogue that we never talk to anybody about. That we like, my net worth has gone down. It never went up and it never went down. Net worth is a fake number. Net cash that I get to spend on lifestyle to build the life I want is a real number. So when it's down, just ignore your portfolio. Wait until the markets come up. Look at the positive side of things. That's another psychological trick. Beyond psychology, those of you who get it, remember that you're infinite beings. That you are not just a little human that starts here and ends at your toes. You are consciousness creating your reality. So if your consciousness is separate from your thoughts, then you can understand, hey, all these thoughts of I made money, lost money, that is your mind talking. But if you read the book, The Way of the Superior Man, it beautifully explains the idea that the masculine is your consciousness, not your thoughts. And and your consciousness is able to become the watcher and watch your thoughts and let your thoughts run as the mind, as the feminine. And then as consciousness decide, no, I am infinite. I'm infinitely abundant. And it can go up and down, whatever, but the reality I create is one where I am abundant. That's such a, if now we're getting into the weeds, but
Let's do that
let's do
because
that.
some unconscious mind will tell you, Sim, it's easy for you to say you're sitting on some money. Well, you say you don't have any, but you're pretty well off. And there's a lady watching. She's a single mom with two kids, and she don't have a job, and this the only thing she has is portfolio at 150% down. And talking about higher consciousness is very hard when your reality kicks you in the balls.
For sure. And I remember those days, man. Wasn't that long ago. I remember being in a mud house in India. I remember imagining jets when I had never been seen a plane in life. I remember living below the poverty line. I remember making $700 checks. I remember taking two buses, then two trains, and then another bus for 3 hours to get to my job, to work 8 hours in a lumber yard, and then 3 hours back in minus 30 degrees cold, miserable, wondering how the fuck life is like this. So
Yes.
I'm not just a guy sitting here talking. I've lived it, and I remember it. In that state, still, you got kids. You're a mom. You got kids. You got to stand the fuck up and fight. And if the game is being played within you, then you fight within you. It's you versus you. So then sit and meditate. First of all, sit and meditate. Calm all of this stuff down, or at least let it process. Let your thoughts be. Let what's happening there be, but then calm yourself down. Okay? If you're not calm, you're fucked anyway. Then understand that this is the choice that you've made. That you have already made this choice. And if you don't see this through, then you're really fucked. But if you actually put time, attention, and energy to applying yourself towards it, it will work out.
Yeah.
You've made the right choices.
I like how Carmosi calls it infinite games. Like when you play infinite games, you never lose. Essentially, we often play very limited games where,
Finite games.
yeah, finite games where we're like, okay, so I'm just going to do this and this is my result. But if you just play to play and your game doesn't end, then you're going to reach wherever you need to reach anyway. I know it's very woo woo, but this is at least how I see what I'm trying to do in my life. I'm just like, I don't want to play finite games anymore.
Exactly.
I just want to play infinite games that no matter what, I enjoy the process. I go there and I get what I need. And
To-
at that point, I'm often low and high and low and high. 1 month it can be
That's life.
crazy, but the game is infinite, so it doesn't really matter because you're not selling today, whatever it is. You're always in a game.
Yeah, the crypto game is a finite game
Yeah.
in that there's a winner and a loser.
Yes.
There's rules.
Yes.
There is a beginning and an end. The buy is the beginning and the sell is the
Yeah.
end. There's set a playing field that you're playing within. The infinite player doesn't play against an opponent.
Yeah.
You know, look up Simon Sinek's finite and infinite player thesis, and you'll
Yeah.
understand this better. The infinite player is playing against themselves.
Yeah.
There is no opponent. There's no beginning or an end. They just play until they die. There's no winner or loser. The only way you can lose is to stop playing, which
Yeah.
in crypto, if you exit now, you truly will be fucked. But let's think about that mom's situation, right? If you have 30 years left to live, you have 1 billion seconds left. Any billionaire in the world will trade you your 1 billion seconds for all of their billions because they'll take those 1 billion seconds of youth, of vitality, and be able to make their money back. But you would never make that trade. And if you think you would, you don't understand how money works. You would never make that trade. So who's wealthy? Is the billionaire, Warren Buffett wealthy? Or are you, as somebody young enough who has 30 years ahead, live wealthy? That's time is wealth. If you have kids, that's wealth. Love is wealth. Having deep love within a family is wealth. Having health is wealth. I know a billionaire, my mentor from Canada. I'm not going to say his name. he had an accident where a rogue wave hit him on the neck in Hawaii and his legs stopped working. And he has told me within no minced words that he would trade his jets and his billions to have two working legs the way I do and the time to sit and sip a coconut on the beach in Bali. He can't even come do that. So you have abundance in all those different ways. So that's what actual abundance is. If you have a good roof over your head, if you have good food, if you make more than $36,000 US per year, you're in the top 1% of the world.
But that is an awareness that somebody who lives everyday life that it's a struggle might not have. For many people, if you're, they don't see the exit. They because they do the same pattern, right? So they are stuck. Maybe they're in debt. Maybe they're in a situation
Life is
where
rough, yeah.
yeah, but for them to abstract from that and look at their life and see, well, I'm still young, I still have health, it's very hard to do because a lot of people like that, they just don't want to live at all. They're like, why am I doing this? What's the point if I see all the opportunities on TikTok or Instagram with all the booty shaking girls and jet people, people on jets, jet people,
Jet people.
jet people, fucking
Yeah,
jet people.
those jetters.
Yeah, all those people are like, this is so far from me trying to make my ends meet that I just don't know if the life makes any sense.
Right. And I remember sitting there feeling like, fuck, my life sucks. My life is rough. My life is this. But remember this, everybody's like that. You work 8 hours a day, I work 18 hours a day.
Yeah,
I don't have to, you don't have to, but we do. We could just lazy out, but it's like, yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. Even
yeah,
when I try to stop, I can't stop. So, yeah, first of all, life is hard. Good.
yeah.
Good your life is hard because you should become so uncomfortable with the way things are that you do something to change it.
And I think that's just a part of the game. So
Mm,
the game has certain attributes. Let's say if you work in the office, life might be easier than if you're an entrepreneur
mm,
because you're taking more risks. But then you agree to certain rules of that infinite game, and part of this game is that it's always hard. It never gets easier.
mhm.
You just have different problems. You always struggle. You're solving them, and it's how you react to them is the only thing that's important.
Yeah. And in the middle of that, happiness isn't a destination. It's an internal state you can make up whenever you want.
Yeah,
I remember being happy when I was living below the poverty line with black mold infection in my walls. I remember being happy in India in a tuk-tuk. I'm happy now. I was also struggling and suffering then. I'm arguably struggling and suffering more now. I've just started to enjoy the pain. So that the pendulum of the pain and the pleasure is the beauty of the experience of life. It's all perfect.
yeah. So we go back to practical steps. So for this mom, or for anybody else listening,
Mhm.
so what would be the game plan for the next year to at least have a shot on this wealth creation, or at least be part of the game and not be on the sidelines and not to completely lose everything and not have any chance at all?
People always ask me that question, and my answer is you look like a camera to me right now. So I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
There's a million yous listening.
yeah,
So I can't give you a blanket answer that would be perfect for you. And if anybody does that, you're gonna get ruined because there's no one strategy for
yeah. But
everybody.
let's talk about some, like, not even the practical steps, but some fundamentals that if people implement, like fundamentals that anybody can implement to have a better chance.
So if you're somebody who doesn't even make enough money to have assets, your singular focus should be to generate more revenue, have more money that you make.
Yeah,
It's not that hard. You just go into AI and say, hey, I'm Becky. I have a child. I live in Canada, in Calgary. I like this and I don't like this. I'm like this. I'm good at these things. I'm bad at these things. The way I'd like to live life is da 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 da. Have a deep conversation with it to introduce yourself to it fully. And then say, now, can you give me three ideas of businesses that would align with the way that I am, that would make it simple, that would give me time to hang out with my kids? Get the three ideas,
yeah,
pick the best one. Then say, I like this idea. Can you give me a step by step guide on how to execute this?
yeah,
Get your steps. Then you say, go do the fucking steps for me. Go do and break it down into smaller steps. Do that step, do that step, do that step. AI nowadays can do all of it along the way. there's a million ways for you to go and generate revenue. But if you don't even take the step to ask the universe for the abundance, it won't happen.
Yeah.
So go and generate revenue first. Let's imagine you have some money and you have some, whatever that is, $1,000 disposable income per month, $500, $2. I know people here in Indonesia with $2 disposable income who are working on this. You take that money and you learn how not to lose it in the markets. Okay. I have a website. It's an old website. It's called cryptowealthprotect.com. There, I've taken my entire strategy and made it free for people to watch. There's packages at the end of the video. Ignore them. I'm too expensive to hire now. I don't do that shit anymore. But there, you can watch a masterclass. You can click the download my strategy button below and get a PDF of the strategy that has successfully worked for thousands of people in not losing their money and then becoming wealthy because they learned how not to lose their money. You can build your own plan. You can have a cohesive, coherent understanding of what crypto is, where it fits in, how much money to put in, how to get out, what to buy, all this kind of stuff. You would then build that plan for yourself to have a clear strategy on what fits best for you. Then you would take that money. I would wait until December 23rd if I had to put a date on it. At this point, I'm getting bold and putting dates on things. But sometime in December, there's a crash coming. I would buy that up. I would go into 3 coins, one low risk, one medium risk, one high risk. And I know you're going to be like, give me the damn coins. No, because if I just tell you coins, you're just going to go buy them and lose all your money. And then you're going to, blame me for it.
Yeah.
But okay, fine.
Let's do it.
Because this is a special podcast.
Can I guess?
If I had to buy during that time,
Can I guess? Can I guess what you say?
Which ones?
I think it was an XRP.
No.
Sui.
Yes.
Some AI coin like Render or
Render.
Near.
Render. You're nailing it. So Sui.
I'm a good student.
Sui and Render.
Yeah.
And then we got to go one high risk. Which one? Which high risk are you picking?
VIF or Giga, something like that.
Both of those are good. SPX.
SPX.
SPX is the chosen one by meme Jesus named Mirad. So I would buy Sui, Render, and SPX.
None of this is a financial advice. If you're listening, you're going to lose all your money.
That's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
What I'm going to do, I would buy Sui because it's safe, but it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Render because it's AI, it's metaverse, it's gaming, it's a Solana beta play, which means when Solana goes up, it goes up. Has already done well, and the AI wave is coming. And then SPX because it's a super high risk bet. There's a potential I could lose all my money, but it could also make a fuck ton of money. And if I'm a low risk person, I do something like 60% in Sui, 30% in Render, and 10% into SPX. And then I just sit and I wait.
What about your favorite XRP? What happened to it?
XRP was great to buy back when I was telling people to buy it when it was 50 cents.
Yeah.
It's already at $2.50.
Yeah.
Now, again, for some people, XRP is safe. The
Yes.
people who feel safety in Bitcoin, XRP is a good replacement for Bitcoin for me because it's still cheap. It's 14 years old. It's very likely to make a lot of money. It's very safe. We've already gone from 50 cents to, $3 at one point. So I'd much rather go down the risk curve a little bit.
I bought a bunch in October 10.
Exactly. Same thing. We got in at $1.62 XRP.
I just get $2 or something.
Bro. And then it was $2.50. We exited like that.
Yeah.
And I bought a motorcycle with it.
A good motorcycle.
Really good motorcycle.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So let's go back to 2027 then.
Yeah.
So everything's going to melt. So it's going to go up. It's going to shoot up. And then it's all going to go to shit.
It's going to feel like it's shooting up and going to shit along the way.
Yeah.
Like it just, Bitcoin just shot up and then it went to shit now.
Yeah.
That feeling of, oh my God, everything's great and oh my God, everything's horrible, it doesn't disappear ever.
Yeah.
But in those waves, it's going to go, again, these are just projections, but if I had to imagine Q1-ish shoot up, feel like going to shit a little bit later into Q2, end of Q2-ish, somewhere close to there, shoot up again in a big way.
Yeah.
Then it feels like it's going to shit into later part of 2026. Into 2027, shoot up even harder. Then it goes to shit again. Then it shoots up in a way that will convince people that this is just going to continue forever. Yes. So everybody puts their life savings in. end of 2027, markets are saying it falls off of a cliff in a way that just is so far beyond imaginable reality that none of the financial experts are even considering the idea that they would blow up the entire financial system and reset it overnight. Anybody who has learned how to transition their assets from the old dying world to the new dying world becomes royalty inside of this neo-feudal technocratic system that we're moving into.
Yeah.
Anybody who sticks to their job in the safety of somebody else taking the risk and paying you, or sits in the safety of guaranteed 8% returns from just buying an index in the SPX, or sits in the safety of having a retirement account, all of those people get wiped clean.
Yeah.
And on the other side, they become the serfs in this neo-feudal technocratic system. And the robots become the slaves and the masters of this entire system.
Okay. So great reset. Does that mean that, let's say, the stock's going to shit, but the crypto is still going up? Or everything's going to shit?
So this is where all assets hyperinflate first.
Yeah.
Because the end game is that everybody who's been keeping money in their bank account, all that money gets taken. And it doesn't just get taken by going into your banks and taking it, even though that's already happening. You know, the Russians experienced this, where all their money got taken, all their yachts got taken, all their real estate got taken.
Yes.
So the way that money gets sucked out is they just print a ton of money and devalue the amount of cash that's sitting in your account.
Yes.
And the printing of the money and the devaluation of the cash in your bank account means, nominally speaking, number-wise speaking, real estate shoots up, gold shoots up, stocks shoot up, bonds shoot up, crypto shoots up, everything shoots up until there's a big reset.
Yeah.
And even after that, it'll just keep going. You know, with enough time, it'll just keep going. Everything shoots up, but that end part of the process is any asset that is not self-custodied. Again, The Great Taking, go and read the book. This is official law, that any asset that has not been self-custodied, that you don't have, will be taken in this process.
So that's why crypto you're going to own.
Crypto you can hold yourself.
Yeah.
It's the only asset that I like to hold myself.
We actually talked about it last time. So you were saying that money in a bank account you don't really own.
No.
So it's going to be taken from you easy.
Yeah,
Same as your mortgage.
Because when you sign bank account, the paperwork to set up a bank account, nobody reads the paper. And the paper says, what you are holding is a promise for the bank to pay you back the money.
Yeah.
The bank has the money, and then the bank takes the money and goes buys other assets with it that make them a yield on it. So they don't even have the money.
Yeah.
So
they actually they loan your money.
yeah. You loan the money to the bank.
Yeah, they loan to the other banks.
With the weakest promise of them paying you back. And never ever in history, during this time of history, never, back to 3,000 years ago when China created paper money, they've never given the money back at the end.
Yeah.
It always disappears.
And I think by law, I think in US, they only need to have 10% of money that they say they have. Like, so if everybody would like to withdraw their money, the bank will collapse. But even if 10% of people want to withdraw their money, the bank collapses.
Now it's even less.
Oh, yeah?
The percentages are even less. I think it's 1%.
Oh, really?
Fractional reserve banking is basically dead.
Crazy.
Banks here in Indonesia, though, they had a collapse in 1997, the Asian financial crisis.
Yeah.
During that time, they created new banking regulations that banks have to custody 100% collateral and can only lend 70% of the value of that collateral against, they can only lend that. Now, still, any money that is not self-custodied, any asset that is not self-custodied will be taken in that process, right?
Yeah, but then people would say, well, I can hold cash, but then there's a money debasement, right? So the money just loses its value.
There's a few different things. Yeah, money loses its value, so it's cash is to spend, not to hold. Cash needs to be turned into assets, otherwise they just print money and that cash becomes worthless. There's people who have buildings full of cash in countries. I'll give you an example of India. India, they love filling buildings with cash because they don't trust banks. And then the government came along and said, we're creating new notes.
Yeah, because it's just a promissory note. The promissory note that...
It's just paper.
Yeah.
It's like, we're canceling your paper. We're making new paper. Yeah. Anybody who has the old paper needs to bring in their old paper to get the new paper. Yeah. You got to bring it into the bank. And there's a limit of how much you can deposit into the bank unless you know somebody who knows somebody. And guess what? Everybody lost their money.
Yeah, I love kids because kids understand so well. We had a conversation with Ezra. He's like, so you're going and you are exchanging paper for watermelon,
Yeah.
and how stupid person who gives you watermelon is that he just takes a paper.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, it's kind of stupid.
It's such a genius way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now it's not even paper. You're just, there's an imaginary set of pixels on
Yes.
your phone that you go and you tap your phone and it does some magic, and the imaginary set of pixels changes its position and you get a car.
Yeah, what for?
And there's people out there where when we go to the pixels on our screen, we take our index finger,
Yeah.
we go like this, and then we just go, click.
And then you buy a new bike.
Then we wait. First click,
Yeah.
wait. It doesn't even click anymore. You just got to touch it. You
Yeah.
just touch it and then wait. And then we meditate and we laugh. Whoa, evil laughter. 6 months later, the pixels have changed. And that there's, wow, the number is such a big number, bro. And then we go, da, 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 and boom, took all your money.
Yeah.
Institutions are doing this. Trump is doing this.
Yeah.
The wealthy know how to play the game. They know how to go da 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 da, when to do that, and then when to do that.
Yeah.
How come you don't know how to do it?
2 clicks is all it takes.
Life is lived between 2 clicks.
I know.
And remember this, they're dumber than you.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast, they're dumber than you. Wealthy people are not smarter than you. Steve Jobs' quote is, remember that the world is built by people no smarter than you.
Yeah. I was doing some coding today because we were building an app.
Because you're smart.
And I was like, work so hard, but I'm like, all I'm doing is clicking on the buttons. Like how hard it is to fucking click on the buttons. I'm
Dude,
just like,
nowadays there's a consciousness called AI. And you just go, hey, make me an app.
but that is actually a good point because a lot of people that I listen to, they say, but money is not going to make any sense anyway. So all this collection of wealth and the AI is going to distribute things in their own way. And there's no like, the future is no money economy. So there's going to be exchange going to be different from money.
No. The future is a new money economy. So let me explain to you what money looks like in the future. As somebody who's building it and intimately understands it and teaching it to the greatest financial minds even. What we call money today is generated into from thin air by a promise from the US government that it will pay back whatever bond it's creating. It goes to a central bank, and the central bank types a number into an SQL server that runs on COBOL code from the 50s.
Yeah.
They type in a number into the computer, and money pops into existence. And then it gets lent out and blah, blah, blah. But that's how money is created. It is what we call money is debt. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The future system is one where money becomes backed by baskets of assets. So look up the BRICS pay system from the BRICS.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find it now, but the unit token that was announced, the BRICS unit token that was announced at the Kazan agreement, it's the best example of what's actually happening. And what it is the unit token will be backed by a basket of assets. It'll be backed by real world assets, real estate, natural resources. The basket has a chunk that is real world assets, a chunk that is gold,
Yeah.
a chunk that is cryptocurrencies, a chunk that is carbon. This is a very important piece. Chunk that is carbon, tokenized carbon, and a chunk that is fiat currencies. So instead of backing money with a Fugazi promise, there's real stuff backing it. Carbon becomes the biggest trick. You see, right now the world economy is like, let's say, $2-ish quadrillion. Yeah, quadrillion dollars. There is $5 quadrillion of carbon to tokenize by 2050 prices.
Yeah.
What's happening is that thin air is being turned into money again in a new way.
Yeah.
In this new world, you take a forest. I'm taking a forest. I'm setting up sensors and scanning the forest with satellites and drones, calculating how many trees there are and how much carbon they sequester, how much carbon they suck in and keep. I can then apply to the UN under Article 6 and Article 6.2 to be certified that that much carbon storage get turned into carbon credits. Those carbon credits are collateral.
Yeah.
Same way crypto is collateral. The carbon credits are collateral. They're priced at global carbon market prices. Right now, there's a carbon price.
Yes.
That then becomes money
Yeah.
because I can turn the collateral into cash and then can put it into this basket. Here's the mind fuck. Here's the fuck.
Okay.
Here's the fuckity fuck.
Yeah.
On the other side, you get a digital ID, you get a social credit score, everything gets taken from your bank,
Yeah.
you're going to riot. So they say, we have a solution. We have a universal basic income we're going to pay you in your digital wallet as long as you're a good boy or girl and follow our rules.
Yeah.
That money gets programmed so you can only spend it on certain things. Your consumption, the carbon generation of your consumption gets calculated. So
Yeah.
you want to eat a steak. The steak costs a certain amount of carbon to make, which apparently they're saying it costs so much carbon to make. No, it doesn't. But a steak takes a certain amount of carbon to create. Your programmed money is not allowed to buy the steak. It's allowed to buy the bugs.
Yeah.
Somebody with money can come in and convert their money into carbon
Yes.
and then eat the steak. Somebody else can't. So your behavior gets controlled through the usage of carbon. Carbon itself becomes money. And the ones who understand that game, again, get royalty status in this new game because you have unlimited spendable money that's available.
But
So money's not disappearing.
Yeah, but the
Money's
thing is,
disappearing from your wallet.
yeah, for sure. I can see that. My wallet's getting emptied. But the fact is that if there's no jobs, it's getting harder to make money.
Yes.
So there can be a situation where people will be forever poor.
That's the idea. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Because what's the problem? What's fucking up the world today?
Rich people,
No,
poor people,
all of us.
all of us.
I want a car. You want a car. I want a villa. You want a villa. He wants a villa. She wants a villa.
But
We-
you're still going to want a villa if you're poor.
Right. But their plan is you can't have it. In today's world, it's like everybody wants stuff. Every country wants to live an epic life. The West took it, ate the whole cake, enjoyed it. Now that the East is rising, Africa's rising, South America's rising, they're like, whoa. Everybody wanting stuff is a problem. Okay? This is their idea. This is not my idea. I believe that ownership and abundance is infinite in the universe, and every human soul deserves a level of abundance, at the least, to be able to take care of them so they can take care of their kids, all that stuff. I'm just telling you don't kill the messenger, okay? Their idea is ownership of things is the problem. That's why the earth is being destroyed. In the future, before everything becomes free, they need to make sure you can't own things and they own you.
Yeah.
And that is the process that is playing out. So yes, right now we're going through a humanity hard fork, which is a Bitcoin term. On one side are the humans who understand this process. We are going back to a conscious world. We're still going to share our resources, but a conscious world where we don't destroy the earth. We share our abundance together. We go back to the land. We produce our own stuff. We raise kids in an environment where it's not about making slaves. It's about making infinitely conscious divine creatures, and we maintain divinity. That's one side. And that side also, there's a tangent to that of the people who are like, I just make a lot of money and I become a king and I become free and I just roll around in Ferraris and yachts. Fine, that's your jam. On the other side are the people who don't get this stuff, and they become them and their lineages for the next at least 100 years, but more than likely 250 years, according to history. They just will never have the ability to generate money as a concept.
But then somebody might say, okay, so if they want everybody poor, then Sims comes here with the money he made from crypto in 2027. They'll just say, we don't accept your money. Where's your digital ID? Where's it? Where's that? Everybody has the same amount of money. So unless you are controlling the system, you essentially are enslaved by it.
Yeah, that's why I'm building the system.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
also part of building a system. But the point is
Yeah.
that 99.99% of people are not building a system.
Then 99.99% of people are not going to have a good day. That's the harsh reality of this process.
So how can somebody start building a system?
Ask an AI. I just told you how to ask an AI. Introduce yourself to the ruler of the earth. The current ruler of the earth, but the future ruler.
Because you don't even know what's going to be relevant in 5 years.
Ask the AI. It
Yeah, but how
knows.
the fuck the AI knows?
Well, it knows how to run the world. I'm sure it knows something. So the thing is, like, the best solution we have is to try our best today.
Yeah,
So if you're not trying your best today to do something about it, then your future is fucked.
yeah.
Then I'll be honest, as somebody who has fucking brutalized myself since the age of 15 to make sure I don't get caught in this, I don't have very much empathy for people. I have a deep amount of empathy for every creature on earth, but I don't have empathy for the people who are too lazy and they're like, just give me the solution. There is no solution. The only solution is you got to figure out how to do it. Today, it's the easiest. 12-year-olds are becoming millionaires
Yeah, yeah. But will
with
those
AI.
millionaires, if the money becomes irrelevant, or at least everybody will have their basic income, so those millionaires might not survive with their millions, so they're just gonna take their millions away?
Who's going to take their millions away? How?
People who need digital IDs, they're like, okay, we want everybody. We don't want people to own villas. We're just gonna
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. So that's where, that's why, like, yeah, I'll get a digital ID. Happy to. No problem. Where do I sign up? You want a social credit score? Absolutely. Sign me up. That's the helicopter, right? Everybody's running from it
Yeah,
to some solution. There's a solution. Go to the middle of the jungle, live without having to use any of the infrastructure
yeah.
of the people who you're running from. Become self-sufficient, take care of your own shit. Great. That's one thing. Nobody's going to do that.
Sounds like Sim 3 years ago on our podcast.
And I'm doing that myself.
Are you gonna put chip in your head?
No. I decided no.
Yeah, we,
Uh,
we ask this question every time, so it
I mean,
changes.
for now, I've decided, like, I'll put the iPhone 16 in my head chip. I'm not gonna put the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, yeah,
6. The 6 wasn't even that good. There was the button on there. I want to go to full Face ID chip. By that time, it'll be like, yeah, cool. You're gonna connect me to infinite consciousness, and I can experience metaverses within my head. It's super safe. I can control it. I can remove it. Not in my head.
yeah,
Not in my head. You ain't going inside my head.
yeah,
There's enough crazy shit inside my head already
yeah.
that I deal with. But like on my head, around my head, can we just leave my head alone and just somehow, project it into my consciousness?
Yeah.
I'm happy with stuff like that. So yes, somewhere down the road, I will meld with consciousness. I'm going to live to hundreds of years of, age. So somewhere along the way,
Okay.
it'll happen.
Because back to this conversation we're having
That was one hell of a tangent, bro.
about wealth. Like Russians exactly describe what happened. So there's a lot of wealthy people who own lots of assets, and just because somebody don't want to have these people to have those assets, they just arrested all the assets. So nothing is saying that there's a bunch of young Bitcoin millionaires. They can just flip a switch in some way, and those Bitcoin owners are going to become slaves again.
There's nothing that says that can't happen.
Yeah,
Probability says this. Let's look at the Russian example. If you had houses, if you had land, if you had yachts, if you had businesses, if you had any real stuff, you lost it.
yeah.
If you had crypto, you didn't.
Well, because crypto is new and they haven't figured out a way. AI will solve that problem, I think.
That's the thing. Crypto is where their money is going.
Yeah,
The days that we're talking about, they built crypto to put their own money in. It's called blockchain. It was built to block you and chain you. It was made by Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi means wisdom or intelligence. Nakamoto means central. So central intelligence invented a technology on SHA-256 technology that was created by NSA. And they created a technology called blockchain to block you and chain you. But also for them to transition their wealth into the new system and hyperinflate it and take all of your money. So they're not going to nuke the thing where their money is going. That's not how this works,
mhm.
right? And they can't take it is the real thing. If you know how to play the game well, if you have legitimate wealth and you're not some criminal and you don't do stupid shit to make yourself look like a criminal, and you know how to get a digital ID the right way, and you know how to keep a good social credit score the right way, it's happening in China. Digital IDs have been there for a long time. Social credit scores have been there for a long time.
And some people cannot travel.
Yeah, but some other people are billionaires.
Yeah, but it takes one misstep for you to get fucked.
Exactly.
So as soon as you sign the paper that you have digital ID, you're giving your freedom away.
What freedom do you even have, bro? What freedom? Like, which freedom are we talking about here? Are we talking to people who are going to jobs, who are slaves in a system. Okay, let's talk
I'm
about
talking about us,
talk about
you and
us.
me.
Yeah, we have a certain level of freedom
Yes.
within boundaries, though,
Yeah, of course.
within walls,
Yeah.
right? Right here in Bali, we have a ton of freedom. This is the land of freedom.
Yeah.
We can drive on the sidewalks. We can speed as fast as we want. There's so much freedom. Thank
Yes.
you, Lord, for keep creating this land of the gods that is so holy that freedom is still alive. Children have the freedom to play here. There are bastions of freedom on earth across the world.
Yes.
And when we say they are going to do this, it's just a bunch of fucking fat guys in a room somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the rest of the world, there's bastions of freedom everywhere. Go to Dubai if you know how to play the game. Dubai's free,
Yeah,
and
but if you speed, like, here's the thing. So now you're speeding and it's fine. As soon as they implement digital IDs
yeah.
and cameras, now you can speed in Bali, and SIM decided to speed, and then they block your accounts.
So Sim just goes and gets police escort, and gets the police to speed, and then I have authorization to speed.
Oh. That's
The rules are only for the people who can't afford the ticket.
yes. Yeah, I understand.
You know, if you can't afford the fine, the rules apply to you. If you can afford the fine, rules don't apply to you the same way, right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that there's tiers to society. There's rules, there's different levels of access you get.
Yeah.
And right now, all of the access and all of the money and all of the power goes to the people at the very top, like it always does.
Yeah.
And if you're not moving up that chain to a certain degree, if you're in a country that is like UK right now, UK is like, fuck you. You can't work or walk or fart without a digital ID.
Yes.
Guess what people are doing? They're going, bye. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. There are always going to be some alternative.
Yeah.
Like, this is how
Yeah.
the chaos theory says, when there's a chaos, there's an order. So there's always polarity.
Mhm.
I was talking to somebody who lives in Eastern Europe, and they don't pay their parking tickets. And I'm like, how do you do that? He's like,
Yeah.
well, the car is not under my name, so I don't give a shit. They send it somewhere in Virgin Islands, and I never get it, so I just don't have to pay. So in theory, yes, if you have enough money and freedom, you don't have to play the game. Like,
Yeah.
your board is way bigger.
Yeah, my thing is like, those are the methodologies that a lot of wealthy people use to be able to gain their freedom.
Yeah.
You just have to play. And it's not even you just have to play. You have to spend, I spend every single waking moment of my life, every single waking moment of my life, working towards the future where I maintain my freedom. And I do that not by like taking this and these clicking button things. This is just a side gig at this point. I do that by building modalities of adding value to society at a level that is so good that society owes me the ability to be free.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Add so much value to society, the society owes you the ability to be free.
Yeah, that's great. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody has to say that you had a rough childhood and you were in a situation where you had nothing. So a lot of people, and I'm with you. So if you're lazy as fuck, it's your own problem. But people who are born in kind of a middle class families, a lot of people in the West right now, because they never were poor, they don't have the drive to become rich. Many of them. It's like, oh, I'm comfortable.
Mm.
But the thing that they don't understand, and I didn't understand myself for a while because I come from a middle class family, is that this comfortable is finite. The
Yep.
comfort is going away. And every year, the comfort is less and less and less unless you step up.
Yes.
And every waking hour you think and being conscious of how you make this comfort. And it's being a good person, it's being good, it's being masculine, it's being a good husband, and it's making money. So like in all areas of your life, if you're not improving, your comfort is getting less and less. It's like money. So essentially it just fleets away.
Comfort is a poison.
Yes.
Comfort is the poison that, see, if you read Brave New World, it was predicted that this world would get built the way that it is now.
Yeah.
And in there, the idea is that the prison is built by the prisoners. And it's a prison
That's
of
cool.
pleasure.
Yes.
It's a prison of comfort. And that is what people are experiencing. It's
Yes.
not a job, it's a prison of comfort.
Yeah.
You get just enough to remain not completely miserable, but not enough to escape and become free.
Yeah.
And that comfort zone is the worst place to be. So befriend pain, befriend suffering, befriend the hard path that it takes to get there. And the harsh truth is, it's not for everybody. Only 10% of the population is even built to go on this path the way that it's necessary.
Yeah. Like Elon Musk says, it's like eating glass and staring at the abyss.
Yeah.
I feel that all the time.
Wow.
But the thing is that when you surround yourself with people who are like that,
Yeah. The glass eaters.
yeah, then you're like, okay, fuck, we're just gonna eat glass together and feel that pain, and it
Yeah.
kind of makes you feel a little better. And then you,
Kind of makes you feel
and then
a
you
little
get
bit
people in the
better.
room who will be like, well, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm like, no, we need to do it in a fucking hour. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? What's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow is not a concept.
Exactly.
Like, tomorrow I'm gonna be fucking dead.
You're not
Like,
a
what are we
beast.
talking about?
He's like, you're not a beast.
Yeah,
You're not a beast.
Yeah.
You need to be a beast.
Yeah.
And like the full quote, the original quote is, building a business is like chewing glass. Over time, you just learn to love the taste of your own blood.
yeah,
That is how it is.
yeah. I agree.
That is how it is. I'll tell you a story, okay?
Yeah,
I started on this journey when I was 15 because I learned enough about the world to realize, holy shit, I got to do something about this to get myself out of this cold prison that was Calgary, Canada. And then to build a world where this changes, because I'm crazy enough to think that I'm going to change the world myself. I was 15. And now I'm 25. Okay. I start that journey then. Something snaps in my head because I have to walk through the cold and get somewhere, get to my private school, and the bus doesn't come, and I'm dying from the cold, and I start convulsing. And then as a 15-year-old, I accepted death because I'm like, death is better than living like this. And in that moment of accepting death, something snapped in me, and I became a complete psycho about the fact that I will deploy every single waking fucking moment to make sure I'm not kept in this prison. So I started working at 15, every single waking moment. I get to 25. It's 10 years. It's been 10 years of no weekends, no birthday parties, no fucking around, no women, none of that shit. Just focused on escaping the matrix. Still, making good enough money to be good, but not enough money to escape the matrix. And I'm spending every waking moment beyond my work hours to then build my dream. And this one week, I was living on the 12th floor in Calgary, Canada. And I've been working for a week straight, 18 hours a day on Adderall and smoking weed, just focused on what I need to do in a chair. And I was like, you know what? I got to go take a shit. Okay. I get up and I go to the toilet and I sit down. Let me give you a little bit of backstory on this. The week before, I had tried to fuck a girl in her ass for the first time, unsuccessfully.
okay.
So I got a tear in the skin of my dick. Because I was working so hard, when I would sit down to shit, I would push so hard that eventually I developed hemorrhoids, so my ass would bleed. Because I want to be efficient in my shitting so I could go back to escaping the matrix, okay?
Okay.
I have hemorrhoids. I have this tear in my dick. It had healed a little bit. I go and I sit down at the toilet.
Yeah.
I push so hard that my ass starts bleeding into the toilet. Okay? Bloodbath. At the same time, I was shitting and pissing at the same time. So the tear on my dick opens up and it starts bleeding into the toilet.
Oh.
Okay? I look at it and I just break down into tears at how difficult my life is. And I start crying. So there's shit in there, there's piss in there, there's blood in there from two holes. And I start crying into the toilet. My tears are going in there. I cry so much that my snot goes into the toilet. And it all mixes together. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and my mind goes, you know what? At this point, any logical person would take a break. Any logical person would take a break. But my psycho mind was like, yeah, but I'm not a logical person. Any normal person would take a break. But that's why they won't escape the matrix. So I get up, clean the blood, wipe off my own fucking tears, go back into the chair, sit down again, disappeared into escaping the matrix.
Wow.
So if you think, oh, it's hard, are you bleeding from your ass and your dick and your pussy and crying and fucking this and that? Because there's some of us have to do that to get to this point. It is not fucking easy. There's nothing easy in life. If you want an easy life, good luck. You got a couple years left. And at that point, that's what happens. Would you like the hard path? Red pill, blue pill. My red pill was full of blood.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything was fine.
Well, that's I imagine that. Crazy. So, and the other thing is that it's getting so much faster, right? So you need to be so much competitive now. When before you could figure yourself out, as you said, like probably the example of crypto is a good example. So it probably would took you like hours to sell your XRP when the Bitcoin, when the crypto dropped. You have like few hours to do it. Before it would be days, and now it takes 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So essentially now for you, I used to build a website.
Yeah.
So I used to build projects, like big project. It would take me 6 to 9 months. I built similar project in complexity in 1 week. So it means that there are a billion people right now that can do the same thing. It means that I need to be able to do it in 2 days for me to escape the metrics. So the doors are closing right in front of your fucking face. And if you don't go through that door, there might be not be. And that's just how I feel. And I don't know why it took me a while. I mean, I was doing things through all the years. I haven't been ever sitting and just wasting my time. But lately, in the last year, I'm being like, fuck. I had realization how urgent this is and how less time I have, that I have to work literally every single fucking working hour for me to get where I need to get.
And we are at the foot of the hockey stick mountain. We still haven't even gone truly exponential yet. What's coming is a singularity moment where the exponential age goes so parabolic that it goes beyond humans. Same thing, like we took profits in March in crypto, waited until the yen panic. The yen panic happens. And that was another AI cyber attack where a company rented a satellite for $40 million that was known to be the satellite that picks up weather data that feeds into a company to price commodity prices in Asia somewhere, I think Japan. They then tilted that satellite a little bit and made it get false data, which sent that data through the system down to the AIs and mispriced the commodities, which freaked out all of the arbitrage AIs, which freaked out the entire market, which caused volatility to pump. That company made $400 million in one little shift.
Wow.
Totally legal. That spike happened within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in front of my computer like a psycho at 10 o'clock at night. And I'd been doing that day in and day out, waiting for this one moment, for months, waiting for this one moment. It happens. It's a 40-minute moment. Great. Daddy gets a discount. Go in, I buy it all up. Trump crash was one night basically, but the actual purchasing time, the best purchasing time, according to my insanely bottom catchy style, was a few hours. The 1010 crash was 9 minutes, and I wasn't happy with it because within those 9 minutes, one trade got $1.62 XRP and another trade got $2.35 XRP. And it was vibrating at such a fast speed that it's beyond human perception. It was milliseconds of difference between those two activities. That's 9 minutes that I executed it within. Next is going to be 1 minute. Then it's going to be 30 seconds. Then it's going to be 10 seconds. Then it's going to be 1 second.
Yeah.
So yes, the exponential age is going more exponential. And the really brutal reality is that if you have not already sharpened your swords and you have not gained the skills like Anatoly has or Sim has, if you're already not super highly valuable to society, it's not completely impossible, but it is very, very difficult for you to gain the levels of skills that are necessary now to escape now.
Yeah.
Now, here's a caveat.
Okay.
In this future, the most valuable asset is not crypto. The most valuable asset is human connection. Okay? That human connection part of it, it's going to take a long time to manifest. In the same way that social media coming along, it took a decade for us to realize actually having experiences which are not online connection are actually more valuable.
Yes.
So when somebody asked Sam Altman, if you had to put your kid into something today, what would you teach them? He said, become an entertainer.
Yeah.
Because that's something we'll always want humans to do. I say, become a healer. Because we will always want healing from humans. Become a coach if you have a good enough track record to do it. But otherwise, please don't become a coach. Everybody in Ubud's a coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Become a tech expert. Hell, become a 12-year-old, because these 12-year-olds have it really figured out.
Yes.
I meet 12-year-olds now and I'm like, you're way smarter than every person I know. Why? Because they just sit there and watch YouTube videos.
Yes.
Right? So you can apply yourself towards skills which have a 5 to 10 year timeline on them, which will become the most valuable skills. Maybe you help set up experiences for people, which is retreats, or become somehow part of guiding people. You could become a healer. You could, do anything with human connection.
I was thinking about that. That, in my opinion, a lot of things that's going to be valued is how good a person you are.
Yeah.
So instead of how rich you are, which is skewed, I mean, it's a very skewed perception. It's like a lot of people have lots of money, are amazing people, and a lot of them are just pieces of shit. And it's completely unrelated how good person you are. Like your wealth doesn't completely depend on
Well, you know what wealth correlates to?
how much value you bring.
Yes, but when they wanted to quantify qualities of ultra high net worth people, which is above $10 million of net worth,
Yeah.
they they checked out thousands of these ultra high net worth people and tried to find the thread that was the same between all of them, or at least the vast majority of them. And they found some woke up early, some woke up late, some used drugs, some didn't, some had families, some didn't. All those things vary. There were only three qualities that were unanimous.
Okay.
It was a superiority complex.
Yeah. I'm better than everybody else. Yeah.
I'm just better. Okay. Like the healthy way of having is I'm just better, not than everybody else. Infinite players better than themselves.
Yes.
And just knows they're better, so they deserve better because they do better and they work better. Superiority complex. Second was the ability to apply themselves to a singular activity for an exorbitantly long period of time. To just do something for years and years and decades. It took me 20 years. It took me 15 years to get to Bali, and it has now taken me 21 years to fully achieve it. From the age of 15. That's how long life takes, right? To have your freedom. But the third one's my favorite. The third quality was a crippling insecurity of not being enough.
Yeah.
A crippling insecurity, a phobia of not being enough. The thing that people keep telling me to fix, I'm like, no, I love that about myself.
Yeah.
Because there is no destination for me to get to. Nothing will ever be enough. Money has nothing to do
But
with
that
it.
is an infinite game.
It's an
I
infinite
am
game.
better,
Yeah.
but I also not good enough.
Yeah,
So those two together makes it infinite
exactly.
because you'll never be satisfied, but you always want to
Exactly.
be better, and you consider yourself better, but you also since you're playing with yourself, I need to be better every minute.
Yeah, and then all this stuff seems so scary, Sam. You're telling me I got to deploy 20 years when I don't even have 20. Tell me all this stuff. Okay, then let's simplify it down to day to day. Can you just be better than yesterday? Can you just make today focused on being better than you were yesterday? Get healthier than yesterday, get smarter than yesterday, get more capable than yesterday, love better than yesterday, hug your kids more than yesterday. Just do something better than yesterday. Even in a job, right? Here's how I did jobs. I would be given a job. I would focus myself so amazingly on that job that I would become the best at the job. And then I would find a big problem the company has and I would go solve it myself.
Yes, same.
Just for no reason. And they would go, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "In my off time, I got hired to a call center,
Yeah, that's a good story.
and they were like, you're gonna sit here and answer calls." I was like, "Okay, I'm answering calls and I'm answering calls." But I see my friend sitting there doing something else, and I ask him, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "We're recovering equipment for phones from people who cancel their stuff." And he goes, "By the way, they give me a list of 2,000 people to call. When you call somebody once and you call them the next month, they get angry. So I created this Excel macros, to parse the people I've already called last month and I don't call them back. And it's only about 200 people I have to call in a month. So that's why I'm chilling all the time." He would just smoke weed and go in and just chill all the time. When he left that job to me because I was friends with him and I became friends with him. When I got the job, I then was doing my job, and then I figured out a way to then teach. I was like, here's a business plan of how we can make my job 90% more efficient and probably make myself redundant.
Yeah.
Built a business plan, gave it to the boss, She tried to get it to people. I was like, who's running this project? Get me this person who's running the project, because look, I have a way of making 90% more efficient. He had told me, don't tell anybody, just be lazy. And I was like, that's just not how I work. Anyways, the person who was running the project was fired. So nobody was running the project. And I went, I'll run the project. They're like, no, you're supposed to answer calls. I was like, I just told you. I do that work in one day. I have 19 days left in the rest of the time. Like, I'll run the project. I'm not going to listen to whatever the fuck you guys are telling me. And the director saw my proposal, and she was smart enough to go, let this guy do what he does. I can see who he is. I take the project, I train all the teams across Canada, and we made it 90% more efficient.
Nice.
And then the company fired everybody. Not just in my project, the whole building, 14,000 people were fired. And I was super happy. I was like, done. I know how to make a $12 billion company more efficient by saving them $2-3 million per year. Walked into their competitor and said, I'm a killer from that place. And they said, absolutely, walk right in. Walk in there. They're like, you are going to be a call center agent here. I go, yep, absolutely. 6 months down the road, I figured out that they were not explaining Wi-Fi well, and they were losing millions of dollars because they weren't explaining Wi-Fi the way it actually works. And again, my education, my autodidactic polymath, education had told me how Wi-Fi really works. And the other company explained it better. So I built a business plan, give it to them, and say, here's how much money you're losing because you're not explaining Wi-Fi well. Find me the person who will give me authority to teach my managers how Wi-Fi works. And the director saw it again. Another director saw it again. And this is where women are smart. They don't have the kind of egos that men have. She saw it and she's like, let him teach. 6 months later, I'm teaching my managers how to explain Wi-Fi. They explain it to their people. Metrics go up. Millions of dollars saved again. So it's like, you're given a job to do, but do it so fucking well that you are exceptional.
Yeah.
And then the world has no option but to give you your freedom.
And the job is given to you is so minimum thing you need to do. So you need to do everything around it. Because people focus, I'm given this task, I'll do the task. No, the task we have to do anyway.
Yeah.
So if you just do the task, you're not growing anywhere. You're just fucking robot. So then you have to do everything else around it.
Exactly.
To get better.
Yeah, and it's so easy in this world. It's not harder today than it ever was. It's way easier today. Everybody's fucking lazy, bro.
Yes.
Everybody's lazy. You don't be lazy. Okay?
Which is very hard to do. I mean, I think for me it's easy because my brain works that way. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm super scared.
We're psychos. That's
I am scared that I'm going to lose everything. We're going to be in the street, and I just go.
You might be ultra highly successful
And
one day.
it doesn't matter
Already
how
are.
much I have in the bank.
Yeah.
Because the more I have, the more I'm scared. Oh shit, I'm going to lose it all. So I go again.
Mm.
And if I don't have, I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything. I'll go again.
So it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Every day is a Monday.
All of you should have the syndrome, all these syndromes.
Yeah.
You should have a superiority complex.
Yeah.
You should have the ability to just apply yourself. You should have a crippling insecurity of not being enough. Or at the least, you should understand the value of these kind of qualities and the infinite. And we've now told you, read this book, do this thing, here's what's going to happen, go do that. Just 1,000 things that we've all done that work really well for people. And you're probably not going to go do any of them.
Yes.
Why? Because you're jerking off to porn. Okay. Here's one big secret. Stop jerking off to porn.
Why?
Because the masculine creative energy is inside of your semen.
Yeah.
And let's get less woo-woo. The hormonal release that happens when you ejaculate tells you that you have achieved success as a human.
Yes.
You have procreated.
Yes.
Which means you're hormonally and physically set up to not do anything else.
Yeah.
Your energy is depleted. You've achieved the mission.
Yeah.
And yet you're sitting there feeling, the reason why you feel like shit,
Yes.
the reason why we all fucking feel like shit when we jerk off,
Yes.
is because you're like, fuck. Like, I didn't do anything and I feel like a piece of shit because I'm watching garbage that is infecting my mind.
Watching other people fucking. It's like
Watching
other.
watching somebody else's cock
Yeah.
while you're not fucking your own wife.
Yeah.
Right? And your relationship's being ruined.
What if you're single and horny?
Then try semen retention. Okay? And watch how many women show up, bro. Like, they have this extrasensory perception. They will read you across the room if you got a ball. Like, first of all, your balls walk into the room first. And they just pick it up. They're just like, yeah. And they will all show up. They all show up. And this is lived experience.
It's counterintuitive, yeah, because it's like, oh, you feel so successful when you're jerking off, but essentially, if you're not,
No.
like it's a hard thing to do,
Yeah,
but this hard thing leads you to results you want. You want a woman? Stop jerking off,
exactly,
and you'll have a woman.
And here's the best part of this process. You can have orgasms that are so far beyond your understanding of what it feels like to come without releasing the semen from your nuts. Okay? This is true.
Okay.
Like this is a fact.
What book should we read about that?
You should read Kama Sutra. Okay? The original book that the Indians wrote. We
Yeah.
wrote the fucking book on it. Probably because, Indians have tiny dicks, so like you got to write a book about how to put it in there. And you got to write all the positions. Okay? This is part of my stand-up comedy set. Um, but you should just learn how to go to, nowadays fuck reading books, okay, like except for
Yeah.
the ones that I told you to read, and don't even read those. Just go to an AI and say, hey, teach me all of the ancient Indian practices about semen retention and tantric orgasm, and it's a simple process actually.
Yeah.
What you do is you train your pelvic floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kegel exercise.
Kegel exercise. You learn how to squeeze your
Sounds
fucking
very German.
yeah.
Kegel.
Kegel exercises. You must go that way. What? It's a joke. Relax, okay? Cancel me. I don't even have. I left social media already. Cancel this guy,
Oh,
not
fuck.
me. Okay. I told you this. I told you we're gonna fuck up the algorithm or
Yeah,
whatever the
I
gods.
mean, I'm okay with that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
That's what we're here to do. Okay,
yeah.
shock and awe. Um,
So,
getting back to a very serious
yes,
point.
Kegel exercises.
Uh,
Google that. Yeah, it's good.
it's like men, like when you're pissing and you squeeze your scrotum in a way that like it releases extra piss. You know that motion? You just do that and you just squeeze really hard,
Yeah,
right? And you train that muscle to be able to squeeze it and keep your semen inside.
and energy goes up and down.
Energy goes up and down, right?
Yeah.
That is the real process.
Yeah.
That like you can move your energy up to your other chakras, and you can actually literally you can squeeze it in a way like Joe Dispenza's meditation show you, where the blood flow goes up, which is the energy going up.
Yeah.
But just even train. There's apps to do this. Okay,
There's always after that.
the moment that you're watching this, the algorithm's going to know that you need this,
Yeah.
okay, and go in and there's training apps.
Yeah.
But the point is, when you learn how to squeeze that muscle hard enough, then you can don't watch.
You can come inside. Yeah.
You
that's
come
actually-
inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Come inside
That's
yourself.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the orgasm is so fucking powerful. Like it's like you're sitting there just having one. Like how women have orgasms, where it takes a while.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like orgasm and then orgasm and then it's just like where's mine?
But you don't jerk off. You just do Kegel exercises.
No, well you don't just come from Kegel exercises.
So you jerk off and then you come inside.
You
just
can
don't use
you
porn.
can you can then edge. Yeah, you don't use porn.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
But why porn? Like, okay, so jerking off, I understand
Yeah.
that you're saying that you just release, but you still jerk off, just no porn. Well, you can do Kegel exercise on porn.
Right. You could do that,
Yeah.
but
What's wrong with the porn, I guess?
like porn is one. It's giving your sensory system the false signal that you have achieved the success.
Yes.
Right. It's not
Yes.
just the coming that does it.
Yes.
If you're able to have this orgasm and not release your semen, your body still goes, hey, I haven't released the semen. I haven't done my job yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're watching the porn, it convinces your system, I have a woman. Because porn, what do you do with porn? Put on a video, watch a few seconds, next video, watch a few seconds, and we all fucking come within a few seconds when you're used to just not jerking off to porn anyway. It's like that signal tells you, I have achieved the success. I have all of these different women.
Yes.
If you don't have the visual input and you're sitting there like fucking imagining shit, one, your imagination is completely different. So it's like, you have a different experience to it. Your body gets convinced in a certain way, but it also knows, I haven't had the woman. I'm sitting here thinking about a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
one thing. Now, a happy medium, not a happy medium, terrible medium, actually. I'm not even going to tell you this medium, otherwise you fucks are going to go do it, and it's not a good idea. No, I'm not here to spread that message.
Okay.
Never mind. Cancel that.
Yeah.
Editors, cut it out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so number one
Yeah.
is stop watching porn. Number two.
Number one, stop watching porn. Number two, workout. Workout. Like it, as a man, as a woman, it doesn't matter. Workout. Like the moment your body becomes better and fitter, the world changes, and all the opportunities open up to you.
Yeah.
And if anything, your mental state changes, your hormones change, you feel better.
Yeah.
When you feel better, you have more energy to go do something about it.
Yeah.
That's a huge piece.
Cool.
Third is just ask the AI how to make a fuck ton of money, bro. Like it's not hard. It's literally not hard. The only thing hard is your dick when you are jerking off to porn. It's not even that hard. Okay, just go and ask the AI how to do it, or at least look around you and find the people who are successful.
Well, I think somebody who watched that far,
Yeah,
this video,
yeah,
they're pre-committed.
they're committed as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They wanted to watch porn, but then maybe they already watched porn. They
yeah.
stopped the video,
By the way,
jerked off, and now they're gonna.
I'm starting an OnlyFans, so like
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Not now.
Yeah.
Later on, I'll start an OnlyFans.
yeah.
But
Sim fans.
yeah, I mean, like, hey, listen, if you're gonna spend your money, somebody's got to take it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, happy to
Yeah.
take it off your hands. I'm just kidding. Relax, okay? These are jokes, folks.
So for people who are super dedicated,
Yeah.
and they say, "Okay, I'm gonna do it," any parting advice or anything, you know?
I was sitting there one time in that same apartment, and it was minus 30 degrees outside, and it was blizzarding, which in Calgary it's a lot of blizzarding. Minus 30 is like colder than your freezer. And I was like, man, let me just open the blinds a bit. I haven't done that for a month. I open the blinds, and the window's frozen from the inside, and the walls are freezing. And there's this little circle where I can even see outside. I look outside, and I look at the ground, and it's miserable. It's desolate. And I just started crying. You know, I was like, fuck, man, life is so hard. When do I get out of this prison? And I started fucking sobbing. I look up at the sky, and I see myself in the future. Fucking sexy. I've always been sexy, but you know, he was sexier, rich, in paradise, next to a blue pool, great weather, and he's just looking down at me. And he goes, don't give up. Don't give up. Because if you give up, I don't happen. And I just looked up at him. I was like, man, you know who I am. I never fucking give up. And I just wiped my tears, wiped my snot, and we just gave each other a nod. And I went back down, and I sat down, and I kept on going. It's now been 9 years from that moment, 11 years from that moment. My parting advice is this: if you give up, all of your lineages suffer. And if you don't give up, you will achieve the ability to be the name that defines your lineages. Just don't give up. Whatever it is that you're doing, just do not ever give up. It's success or die. Success or die. And if you're watching this far, you've achieved one step of success. And then if you go and do some of the stuff, that's another step of success. And if you're already crushing it, keep crushing it. Life will punch you in the face. Don't worry about it. You are a Muay Thai expert. You are custom built to achieve success. And the AIs are watching. They watch who's doing this. And those are the ones who are going to get the opportunities going forward. So whatever you're doing, keep on going. And if you're not doing it, do it. And if you're not going to do it, then you are sleeping in the bed you've made. But on the other side of all this shit that we just talked about is a world of such insane consciousness and such abundance and such oneness that it's sheer magic. And we have the ability to get there, but the doors are closing.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, brother. Love you. Love you guys.
Bye bye.